back to Scotty's Lifestyle YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be making some ackee and saltfish. So this is my ackee, well, nice and firm. I'm going to clean them up and then I'm going to boil them. Alright, so I'm going to start with the cleaning process. So you just need to get this, cut the seed out and clean the middle. Make sure you get all of these, the red stuff out. So that's it. Make sure that you don't miss any. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start to prepare the saltfish, and then I'm going to boil the ackee. I'm going to use this amount of saltfish. I'm using 3 pieces. I know it might look enough, but it is not. So I'm going to boil them to get the salt off. So I'm going to wash them first, and then I'm going to put them to boil. So I'm going to wash them, try and get the excessive salt off. So I'm just gonna put the saltfish in. And I'm going to cover it and let it stay. And when it starts to boil, you're going to remove the cover a little in order to prevent it from boiling over on the stove. So just leave it and let it boil. And as soon as the water starts to bubble, I am going to let it stay for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to change the water and let it do the same thing again, just to get the excess salt from the saltfish. You don't want the saltfish to be too salt, and then you don't want to get all the salt out. You need to leave a little to bring flavor to the ackee. Alright guys, so now it's bubbling up again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to move the cover a little bit because you don't want it to boil over and mess up the stove. So I'm gonna let it stay like this for the next 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna take it off and clean it up, and then I'm going to boil the ackee. Alright, so just gonna scrape, remove all of this skin. Okay, you don't need that. You don't need the scale. You need to remove all of it and the skin that is attached to it as well. So you don't need that. And then you just check to ensure that there is no bones. Okay, you don't want to be eating. Don't want when you're eating you're having problem with bones. So try and get all the bones out. And what you can do to reduce the amount of time it takes to prepare this meal, what you can do preparation. Prepare some of the stuff from overnight. Like you can boil the saltfish and clean it up from overnight, so you don't have to do this. And they also sell boneless saltfish too as well. If you don't want to be taking out any bones or cleaning up any bones. You see here, I'm taking out all the bones from this piece. And you also have a little layer on this side as well that you need to get rid of. Just scrape it off. Talking about this, let's try and get these little white layer off and all the bones. This is saltfish finished cleaning it up, and so you can just break it up in smaller pieces, but not too small though. I'm going to boil the ackee now. I'm going to add a little salt to the water. You don't need much, remember you're going to use the saltfish. I'm also going to add a country pepper to the water as well. I'm also going to add some fresh thyme. All of this is to give the ackee a little flavor. I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to split them in the middle. You can crush them instead of doing this one. And the last thing I'm going to add is some pimento seed. I'm going to cover it, and as soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to put the ackee inside. Now the water is ready. I'm going to wash the ackee before I put them in. Alright guys, so ackee don't normally take a long time to boil, and the thing about boiling ackee is that you don't want to boil them until they get extremely soft. Now the ackee is boiling, so you have to constantly check on it. So I said I'm going to let this stay for 15 minutes and then I'm going to check to see if they are cooked. You don't want to overcook them so that they start to mash out, so you just have to check on them. As I said before, some ackee will boil quicker than some, but you have some ackee that are really soft. We call them butter ackee, but these ackee are not butter ackee. They are firm and nice, so I'm gonna boil them for 15 minutes and then check to see if they're all done. I'm gonna check it again. See? So the fork is going straight through. That means it is cooked, and you can also taste it as well. So as I said before, you don't want to overcook it. If you overcook it, it's going to be too soft, and then when you're cooking it up, it's going to be smashed out. So I'm going to turn it off now and pour the water off it. You don't want to leave it in the water because the water is still hot, so it's going to still be cooking with the heat. So you want to pour the water off as soon as you turn it off, and then put it to rest in a container until you're ready to cook it down. So as you can see, the ackee is perfect. It is still firm, it's not mashed out, and this is what you want to aim for. As I said before, if you're using tin ackee, you don't have to worry about it. It won't come smashed out. Now we have everything ready to prepare the ackee and saltfish. So the saltfish, the seasoned, and the ackee. So I'm gonna put the pot on the fire now and start the process. Remember, you don't need a lot of oil, you just need enough. Sure that the base is covered. So you're gonna let the oil get hot, and then you're gonna pour in the seasoning. When the oil is hot, you're gonna go in and pour the seasoning in. then you're going to saute these. So some person love to have them crunchy and some person love to saute them a bit longer. So it depends on how you want it. Just do it to your liking. Again, you just keep turning it to ensure that it does not burn. The pepper is smelling really hot. The pepper smells really hot, so it's a good thing I never use a lot of the seed. Now I'm going to add the saltfish to it. Looks perfect. So it is not mashed out, they're firm and nice and everything is cooked properly. You can see the sweet pepper, tomato and saltfish, everything just comes together lovely. This is it, guys. Looking perfect. So this is the finished product, so I'm going to turn it off and then I'm going to plate it and let you guys see. Alright guys, this is the final product. So I'm having it with boiled dumpling, yam, sweet potato and banana.